Undergrad.
Drew's graduating with a BS in Business Administration with an emphasis in leadership and innovation, as well as minors in legal studies at the Gould School of Law and the music industry program from the Thornton School of Music. Drew's a trustee scholar who credits his family, friends, and teachers for empowering him to succeed. And he's paid it forward in a big way by working in Marshall's undergraduate office of admissions and outreach, and by co-founding the student club Onward to offer opportunities to the next generation of Trojans. On graduation, Drew's going to be joining PwC as a Workforce Transformation Associate. Please join me in welcoming Drew to the podium.
First, let me say good morning to Dean Garrett, staff, faculty, families, friends, Snoop Dogg, and the class of 2025. It is not an exaggeration to say that the class of 2025's journey has been one unlike any other. In fact, this is an understatement. On the heels of an unprecedented global pandemic, there was nothing that was going to stand in this class's way. Not even weekly COVID tests and a camera roll full of Trojan checks. If you know, you know. We are a class of collaborators and a class of competitors. That is what got us here today. A class composed of burgeoning entrepreneurs, world-class athletes, and courageous business leaders, all before they even stepped foot in a Marshall classroom. Competing not against each other, but to exceed the boundaries set by what the world has yet to see. In these fastest few years of our lives, this remarkable group has helped the high-achieving students to their left and right turn into the change makers that will take tomorrow by storm. Every single day during our time at USC, like you, I found myself feeling beyond inspired by the classmates I look out to at this very moment. The ones who prove to us time and time again, you do not have to wait to graduate to accomplish your dreams. It was the visionaries who inspired us to start clubs of our own when nothing else seemed to fit what we were looking for. It was the social thought leaders who taught us how to explore business from a lens that extends past the simple pursuit of profit. With our diploma in hand, the education that we are walking away with is truly one of a kind. It is one thing to sit in the classroom and learn about the world of business. It is another thing to actually live it. From the press conferences we conducted in 302, our communication strategy course, to the products we built in 307, our marketing fundamentals course, Marshall has prepared us to ignite the opportunities that await the horizon. The journey that we celebrate today is one that was not walked alone. In fact, as I continue to prepare for this very speech, there is one professor's voice who repeated the same sentence over and over again in my head. You're either competing or you're not. That professor was none other than legendary football coach and lifelong Trojan, Pete Carroll. Yeah. Where my Seahawks fans at? Raiders fans, I guess you too. So often our educators show up for us at the exact moments in which we need them most. And for those of us who are lucky enough to take the game as life this semester, that educator was Coach Carroll. Alongside world-class Professor David Velasco and the Dean of Religious and Spiritual Life, Varun Soni, we spent the last 16 weeks uncovering what it truly means to be a competitor. To be a competitor means to devote every day towards the relentless pursuit of excellence, no matter where your passions lie. I know I'm not going to win every game, but you can bet that I'm trying to. That is why I stand on this stage today. That is why you all stand with me. We stand on this stage today because of the faculty and staff who showed us from the minute that we got here there is truly no such thing as a dream too crazy to realize. From Professor Hino to Professor Sweeney, from my coworkers in the undergraduate admissions office to those who sat on the scholarship panels that got so many of us here in the first place, there are truly no words to describe just how grateful we are to you for changing our lives. It's your limitless belief in us that turns our wildest imaginations into our reality, and on behalf of the class of 2025, thank you. We also would not be standing here today without the unconditional support from our families, friends, and loved ones. Yes, give it up for your family. All those moments you told us we could be anything we set our minds to, that is what empowers us to change the world. So, if I could ask my fellow graduates to join me in giving a round of applause to those who have made the biggest impact on our presence here today. Oh, come on, I know we can do better than that. The pursuit of an extraordinary education was not always an easy one. We can all think back to the anxieties of our first semester, constantly questioning what a future at USC could look like. During my first 2 months as a freshman, I had pretty much made one friend here, and his name was Dan. Dan and I would spend every single day walking the campus, looking around and telling ourselves how much we couldn't wait to have a friend group of our own one day. And then, by the end of our freshman year, Dan had transferred. I know he's watching though, I love you, Dan. But the point is, never once did any of our greatest anxieties, from finding friendships to staying in touch with the ones who had moved miles away, stop us from leaving our mark on this historic institution. USC has always been a school of trailblazers, and the trails that we have started to blaze are just beginning. We stand here today, grateful to USC and the Marshall School of Business for being such an important chapter, and we celebrate the fact that it will not be the last. As we sit on the grounds of the Coliseum, a place that has welcomed some of the greatest competitors in the entire world, I could not be more excited to enter the next arena, competing and collaborating alongside the greatest competitors I have ever known, the class of 2025. I want to thank the class of 2025 for allowing me to speak on behalf of such an exceptional group of relentless groundbreakers. Representing our class on the stage today has been the opportunity of a lifetime, and I can't imagine doing it with anybody else. So, to the class of 2025, congratulations and fight on.